For those who do, the path to reaching that understanding diagnosis is long and painful. The acronym for treatment, ART, Assisted Reproductive Technology, is quite fitting because it is an art, a fair amount of trial and error to identify where the problems are and what will work. As anyone suffering from infertility can attest to, the quest for a positive pregnancy test takes over one's life. Everything else pales to a lighter shade of eggshell. And yes, it's all about the yes. Work, family, friends, and sex. Most infertiles are afraid to admit their disease. Even in 2014, it's still deemed shameful to have a damaged reproductive system, or it's the punchline of a joke, or a fodder for Hollywood spoofs. For many, the only people who understand are that secret sorority of women members of privately held support groups or online anonymous group bulletin boards. For men, it's even worse. So by the time a patient is told by her physician that she probably can't sustain a pregnancy without a surrogate, or a couple is told that they need donor egg or donor sperm, they will have been through years of medical treatment involving hundreds of injections, surgeries, and untold numbers of invasive doctor's examinations, all to have experienced repeated failure of treatment and often multiple miscarriages. A woman will have missed weeks of work and may have incurred hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt because in vitro fertilization is not required to be covered by insurance in New York State. The decision to retain a third party to carry one's child is not likely unique. For many women, carrying a child is integral to the experience of becoming a mother, being the first experience of nurturing one's child. For wannabe families who have tried so hard to become parents, first having to adjust to welcoming in teams of medical professionals into what is traditionally the most private experience a couple can have, making a baby, learning that they have to give up carrying that child is crossing into what seems like the devil's version of Never Never Land. To then learn that in order to utilize a surrogate, one has to leave his or her home, doctors, often a partner and support system, overcome legal barriers to parenthood, and incur travel and legal fees, and then these critical parts of the surrogate's pregnancy, it's just emotional and financial abuse. By denying access to treatment to New York's most vulnerable class of patients, those who have already endured so much, we are effectively limiting use of the available technologies to those who can afford it. This is a form of discriminatory reproductive eugenics. Surrogacy has been around since Sarah first gave her handmaiden Hagar to her husband Abraham, but they are now able to transfer the intended parent's embryo to the surrogate in a 15-minute. Do you want me to write? Sorry. That we are now able to transfer the intended parent's embryo to a surrogate in a 15-minute, unmedicated outpatient procedure is far less extreme than having your husband personally impregnate your maid. New York State has a long, proud history of being at the forefront of medical and technological advances and has some of the best and most sought-after physicians, laboratories, and clinics in the world. To hang on to such outdated and burdensome barriers to parenthood is unwarranted obstinacy. Gloria Steinem said, the first resistance to social change is to say it's not necessary. Infertility is hard enough. Being forced to travel out of state for a gestational surrogate or jump through legal hoops to become a parent in New York is just unconscionable. Thank you for your time.